Before we get started with highlights from episode 126, just wanted to talk about some upcoming news on Beyond the Gates. Jacob Hawthorne, Naomi's husband, Detective Hawthorne, has a brother. I don't have an ETA of when his brother will be joining the show. His brother's name is going to be Isaiah Hawthorne. And Isaiah is going to be a counselor at Banneker University. And we haven't heard of anything regarding Banneker University. So by bringing on Isaac, we're going to have a whole kind of college scene. I don't know how much, but I'm sure maybe probably bring in like Tyrell and some of his classmates, because I think Tyrell's a senior. Apparently, he is the black sheep of the family. You know, this is the only other family member of Jacob's that we know besides the chief, which is his dad, Elon. So I don't know if it's just Jacob and Isaiah. Only time will tell. But as of now, it's those two, and Isaiah's going to be the black sheep. And he will have a love interest. Who that love interest is, we do not know. So yeah, can't wait to see Isaiah. Episode 126. So crazy ass Allison tells Chelsea that she gave her what she was trying so hard to get, which is clout. Forget the fact that Chelsea's mother was a world-renowned model, and forget the fact that her grandfather was a highly regarded senator for many years, and forget the fact that her grandmother was a R&B and jazz sensation. Forget that. Just, it's Allison who put Chelsea on the map. So Allison tells Chelsea she created her devoted fan, and not to forget to post about their meeting. Wow, if this chick isn't Kathy Bates' character in Misery, I don't know who is. Next, Martin uses his parents' divorce to plead to Smitty that he doesn't want their marriage to end up in divorce. And then they kiss, and so Martin tells Smitty he misses them, and Smitty grabs his hand, and upstairs they go. So we already know what that's leading to. Next, Chelsea tells Danny, what does it say about them that they have the approval of society? She feels like everything she does is for content and to get more likes. And unfortunately, with the introduction of social media in the 2000s, which us Gen Xers was introduced to, this is what society has become. The guy who co-founded Facebook with quote unquote Zuckerberg, don't get me started with that, but anyway, he apologized, saying that he apologizes for his role in creating Facebook because of the harm that it's done to society. And I think he had brought out too in the article that he said this in, was that it's like an addiction. In many ways it is, because he was saying that the dopamine, which is your reward system in your brain, is rewarded every time a person gets a like, or every time they post something and people are reposting, or they're viewing, their videos or whatever. It brings on all of this attention that many people don't get in their regular lives. So then that dopamine, that reward system in the brain, is constantly getting rewarded. So it's like a drug addict. But instead of them having to go out and score drugs or drink, they get this automatically by just going on social media. Next, Ted tells Dupree's that Bill humiliated Danny, and their family. He flaunted his trophy wife around them, and they still accept him. Whereas he made one mistake, did not divorce his wife. He has to be the black sheep, whereas Bill is accepted. And I don't think Ted really get it. Bill ain't accepted. It's just that they need him because he's the fixer. Next, Jacob tells Allison she needs to concentrate on getting a lawyer because she's going to need all the legal help she can get. And just then, Naomi walks in and Allison says, "There's my lawyer." And Naomi's looking at her like, "B, do you know who I am? I'm Chelsea's sister and I'm damn sure not your lawyer." And I think they need to get her medically evaluated, Allison, because this girl ain't dealing with reality. So I mean, but it does speaks about in real life what's going on, how mentally ill people are just thrown into the legal system with no assistance, and then they get into these jails and prisons, and they're crazier than ever, and a lot of them just, yeah, they just have really bad issues. Next, after spending some time upstairs, Martin goes downstairs to get his things to move back in. And Smitty's like, wait, what you doing? Nah, this is not happening. Nope, you can't move in here. Just because we did the do don't mean that you're coming back. No, sir. Smitty tells Martin he loves him, but he doesn't know if he can trust him. He reiterates the whole Kenny situation and the lies that Martin had to tell him so he wouldn't know what happened. So I guess Smitty needs more time, and Martin wants to know how does he earn Smitty's trust back. And it's a basic answer. I'm sure Martin don't want to hear it, but it's one word: time. It's going to take time. Period. Next, Bill tells Danny that Naomi checked him about leading her on, and Danny tells him, "Don't worry, that will never happen again." And I'm so glad she said that, because for a minute I was looking at her sideways like, how many times do you need to go down this road before it sticks that Bill is the same old Bill and it's not going to change? He's going to tell you, "Oh, Haley's my wife," and so don't put yourself through that again. And I'm so glad that she's not. Next, Derek convinces himself that he felt something in his legs. He begins to hit them, and then he gets a look of surprise. So we'll see what that's about. And that ends the episode.